Okay, so in number 22, we're going to go to the graph on the graphing calculator, and we'll see at 2, 0, there is a bounce at that x-intercept, and so that 0 has multiplicity of 2. So I can do my synthetic division using that 2 as a divisor, and then I'll list my coefficients: 12 x to the fourth, negative 37 x cubes, negative 11 as my x squared, 104 for the x, and negative 60 for the constant. And then we're going to bring down that first value of 12 and multiply. 12 times 2 is 24. Then we'll add negative 37 plus 24 is negative 13. Then we multiply. Negative 13 times 2 is negative 26. And then add those together. Negative 11 plus negative 26 is negative 37. Then multiply. Negative 37 times 2 is negative 74. And then add 104 plus negative 74 is 30. Multiply. 30 times 2 is 60, and add negative 60 plus 60 is 0. And that 0 is the remainder. So when we divide again with that 2, since there was a bounce on the graph and we know it had multiplicity of 2, then we're going to bring down that first value and multiply. 12 times 2 is 24. Then add negative 13 plus 24 is 11. Multiply. 11 times 2 is 22. Add negative 37 plus 22 is negative 15. Then multiply. Negative 15 times 2 is negative 30. Add 30 plus negative 30 is 0. That's the remainder, the constant, the x, and the x squared. So my factored form is going to be my divisor, x minus 2 with multiplicity of 2, and then the quotient is 12x squared plus 11x minus 15. That is a quadratic trinomial, and so we would factor it, since it has a leading coefficient greater than 1, using a crisscross and a box. So we multiply a times c, that's 12 times negative 15, which is negative 180. And we want factors of negative 180 that add to equal b, which is 11, and that would be 20 and negative 9. So in my crisscross, the 20 and the negative 9 each get an x, and they go on the diagonal. And then my first term, 12x squared, goes in the first box. My last term, negative 15, the constant, goes in the last box. And then we look for the GCF in each row and each column. So 12x squared and 20x, they have a 4x in common. Then negative 9x and negative 15, they have a negative 3 as their GCF. 12x squared and negative 9x have a 3x in common as the GCF. 20x and negative 15, those have a 5 in common. So the factors are 3x plus 5 and 4x minus 3. So then to solve for the zeros, we set each factor equal to 0 to find x. So x minus 2 quantity squared is an x equals 2 with multiplicity of 2. 3x plus 5 equals 0. We would subtract 5 and divide by 3, and x would be negative 5/3. And then 4x minus 3 equals 0. We would add 3, divide by 4, and x equals positive 3/4 would be the third zero.